It's your man Jay Graves, and welcome to week 4 of the Jay Graves Report College Football Weekly Preview. Week 4 is huge because this is the week that most teams start conference play. Everybody's playing in the conference with the exception of Alabama. Alabama's got dubbed Florida Atlantic this weekend. Now, I will give Alabama some props. I'll back off of them because Alabama did start the season off by jumping head first and playing Michigan in Dallas and beat the doors off Michigan. So if anybody gets a pass, Bama gets a pass. Now, let's get right into it. LSU travels to Auburn. Toomer's Corner. They won't be putting any toilet paper up this weekend, bruh. I can tell you that. Hey, Doug Gene Chiswick is hanging on by a thread. Right? Hey, this cat doesn't even have furniture at the house right now, bruh. I mean, they're slowly packing him up. Depending upon how bad he gets beat this weekend will depend upon whether he has furniture to sleep on next weekend. I'm telling you. Now, they may just get the doors blown off of them this weekend, LSU coming to town. I mean, they dragging in, barely wins the ball game last week against Louisiana Monroe. I mean, completely unacceptable for that to even happen. But it did. So they're dragging in. Now, LSU has to really get their act together because they're missing 4 guys that they suspended for academic problems. Down the line, those suspensions are going to start to hurt them. Because over the last 12 months, LSU has lost 12 guys to suspension for one reason or another, kicked off the team. So you can't just lose that type of production and continue to win at the same level. So at some point, LSU is going down. But it won't be this weekend. Now, second ball game, big game. Michigan travels to Notre Dame. Is Michigan as bad as they looked against Alabama? Or are they as good as they looked against Air Force and these other cats? I don't know. I will say this. Michigan's a lot better team. Their offensive coordinator panicked against Alabama. You have to get Denard Robinson in space. If you allow him to get in space and not try to make him Joe Montana, they can win ball games. Will they go to South Bend and win? Notre Dame's looking good right now. They playing like a top 10 team. They on both sides of the ball looking well. Defensively they look good. Offensively they look good. But are they as good as advertised? At the crib, I think they can beat Michigan. Because touchdown Jesus, the leprechaun, waking the echoes, all that tradition and all that powerful crowd will elevate them, I think, over Michigan. We shall see. Now, next big ball game, Kansas State has to roll in to Norman Saturday evening, prime time game. Is Kansas as good as advertised? They beat the doors off of Miami in Manhattan a few weeks ago, 52-0. I just don't know if they're all that good because you have to remember, Miami showed up with a team full of freshmen and sophomores, hadn't been on the road, hostile environment, probably panicked when they got out there and got the doors blown off of them. Oklahoma is like 63, 64-4 at the crib under Bob Stoops. I don't see Kansas State coming in to OU and winning that ball game. So I'm going with the Sooners, Boomer Sooner all the way. Now, big ball game in the ACC. Clemson versus Florida State. Now listen up. Florida State is my sleeper team. I keep saying that because of schedules, because of what they're doing, Florida State and West Virginia are the 2 teams I'm picking to be in the national championship simply because their pathways to the championship is a whole lot easier than everybody else's. Florida State's big challenge is this weekend. If they can beat Clemson, they can show up in Miami for the national championship. And in my opinion, I think they're playing at Doak Campbell this weekend. Chief Osceola coming in on Renegade. No way they lose this ball game this weekend, bruh. Florida State is on the cusp of being Florida State again. You remember there was a time period Florida State finished in the top 5 for 14 straight years, won a national championship during that time period, and ran the state of Florida. So I'm telling you, this is going to be the ball game that puts Florida State back on the map, and boys going to start checking. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Now, last game I want to talk about, Arizona having to travel to Oxland Stadium in Eugene, Florida, and play the Ducks. Now, y'all know that the Ducks are going to come out looking like Parliament Funkadelic this weekend. Y'all know how they get out. Hottest uniforms in the country, but they going to switch it up every freaking Saturday for you. So now, Rich Rodriguez is bringing in crazy offense. They looking well at Arizona, but they going to get the doors beat off of them this weekend, bruh. Believe that. Because Oregon is another one of those teams that's sitting right there in the pathway, can make it to the national championship. They got to make it through this ball game. They have to go to L.A. later in the year, but that's down the line. Right now, these boys are clicking, and by the time they show up in L.A., they will be clicking. Hey, stay with your boy. Keep up with your man on Monday when I come back and do the weekly wrap-up. But I want you to go to the blog. Check out the hot joints. I've been writing them like crazy this week. Go to the JayGravesReport.com or hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport and holla at your boy.